Hello everyone, I'm James Milan. Welcome to this Town Hall update. We are joined by Town Manager Jim Feeney as always, and we have a bunch of things to talk about today. We will be discussing the latest $4 million grant that the town has received, and that will be going towards the Mass Ave Appleton Safety and Accessibility Project. We've got street sweeping to talk about, how you can be alerted the day before when sweepers are in your neighborhood. There's a recent Civic Academy graduation we want to talk about. Also hear about the upcoming Veterans Day ceremony and a new town engineer. So never a town hall update practically without another announcement about personnel. So where would you like to start?
Sure. Thank you, James. Happy to be here. So we'll start with just a quick reminder. I think everyone knows that November 5th is Election Day. However, just a reminder that the polls will be open in Arlington from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. So obviously, if you have not yet voted by mail-in ballot or have come by town hall for early voting over the past couple of weeks, please do make sure you come cast a vote on Election Day at your the polling location for your precinct. Of course, I want to give kudos to our town clerk, Julie Brazil, our assistant town clerk, Denise Hauser, and the rest of the office staff for their sort of Herculean efforts to run the election. It's no longer a one-day event with managing all the vote-by-mail ballots and standing up the polls for multiple weeks in advance of the election for early in-person voting. There's a lot of work that goes into it, so I just wanted to extend my thanks to those folks for making this election happen.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you are doing so, and I want to add, my recognition of that as well, because I actually have spoken with friends in 3 different places over the last couple of weeks. They were astonished with how much work our clerk's office is doing to make both the hours that people can come for in-person voting and then the weeks that people can do their voting by mail. It's really, this is not what everybody has to offer.
Right.
So it's well above and beyond. So I appreciate your mentioning that. So what should we move on to next?
Now I suppose we could pivot. As you mentioned, the town was yet again successful in receiving a grant award, this time in the form of a MassWorks Grant with a total value of $4 million. So one of the largest MassWorks grants awarded to a community in the Commonwealth this year. So we're very excited to get that award. Obviously, this project has been a long time in the making. It's something we've been working on, and I've personally been working on since 2020. So, my thanks go out to the Department of Planning and Community Development for helping to secure this grant. And now we're entering into that phase. So that doesn't cover the full cost of the project. And we certainly have the opportunity to apply again in the coming year. So now we're trying to determine how best to navigate, this project in light of the amount of funding that we have in hand, and can we break this project up into phases? What options do we have for what we call value engineering, or what things would allow for us to cut some costs? What things could we add back in at a later time? And can we proceed immediately with getting done the core elements of this project at the the 2 critical intersections, and then perhaps pursue the other improvements in a later phase that touch the sort of outer limits of the scope of work. So we're reviewing a number of different options now, and we'll be reaching out to MassWorks to understand the timeline for when we'll receive the money, by when we have to spend the money, and that will also play into our decision making with how we proceed with construction. And if we do proceed with construction right away, the hope would be we'd be underway sometime next construction season. We'd have to sort of finalize the designs, go out to bid, execute a contract, and that would hopefully happen sometime over this winter, and we'd have a contract in place come spring.
Well, as you said, this has been long in the making and in the planning, et cetera. So great to hear that another major step is being taken forward. Also, some perspective there when you mentioned that $4 million, which is a very large grant for us to receive and for them to distribute, I am sure, still won't cover the whole cost of the project. I think people, might be surprised, but nonetheless, it's informative.
Yeah, I mean, to that point, public works construction costs, those project costs have risen steadily and rapidly, over the past handful of years. So these projects are indeed very expensive.
Yeah, sounds like it. Shall we move on to street sweeping?
Yes, so the so-called fall sweep is now underway. So many of you know we sweep every road in town twice per year, in the spring and again in the fall. So we have the town broken up into 35 different numbered routes. It's the same numbered routes that we use for our snowplow drivers and contractors. So we generally sweep sequentially, starting with the first route. However, we've learned we do skip a route if street sweeping falls on the day of trash collection, because there is a number of conflicts curbside there. So the whole process generally takes 6 to 8 weeks. It's weather dependent. So I just wanted to bring it up today to remind folks that they can sign up for Arlington Alerts to receive notification via text or email the day before street sweepers will be in their neighborhood. So arlingtonma.gov/Arlington Alerts, and therefore we can let you know right in the palm of your hand when the sweeper is going to be in your neighborhood, because if there's nothing curbside and you're not parked on the street, you will actually get a clean sweep when they pass through.
Right. That's important information and easy to digest at the right amount of time before, right amount of notice beforehand. So a nice innovation there as well. I understand that there's a new Civic Academy graduation class now.
That's right, James. So the third cohort graduated on October 17th. Not a surprise, it was yet another positive experience for both participants and presenters. I want to thank the elected officials, especially Select Board Chair Steve DeCourcy, Town Clerk Julie Brazil, and Assistant Town Moderator Adam Oster for giving their time and coming and sharing their experiences in being, elected officials in local government. But of course, we had a number of department heads and staff who came on Thursday evenings to engage with participants and took a lot of time to answer questions and help build relationship with residents. And of course, the participants themselves for agreeing to learn at such an in-depth level and, give up their Thursday evenings for, many consecutive weeks to learn about how their government operates. So again, our comms team, Joan Roman and Janice Uptom, put on another great program, very successful, gets better with every iteration. Look forward to seeing these most recent graduates and where they choose to get involved with their local government, whether they'll join a board, committee, or commission, or maybe work the polls on election day, perhaps run for town meeting or run for some other office. They'll have a better understanding of what those various opportunities are for participation. And for those who have not yet had the opportunity to participate, we will be doing another cohort next spring.
Yeah, I have to say, we were talking about the clerk's office going above and beyond in terms of of election day. This is another example, both the police academy and the civic academy. There's both the demand and the response from the populace. The citizens of Arlington, the residents of Arlington are interested enough in this to actually, spend that time that you were talking about. And then the town recognizes the importance of inviting people in to be able to understand things at a greater level of depth. These things, again, I don't think are happening in towns and cities around Massachusetts or certainly around the country as far as I know. So
yeah, it's a lot of effort.
Yeah, lots of effort and a good sign of what kind of place this is.
Thank you.
All right, so we are on the cusp of November. We're recording this on Halloween, and so we're dipping into November, and coming up right away in November is Veterans Day. Can you tell us about how that will be commemorated here?
Sure. So on Monday, November 11th, we will be doing our annual Veterans Day ceremony. The tribute, as you know, starts at 10:15, where folks gather in the Walgreens parking lot located at 324 Mass Ave. And at approximately 10:30, we take that sort of 1/3 of a mile parade route to the Central Fire Station at 411 Mass Ave. And that procession sort of terminates right there at the fire station. And then folks are welcome to join the formal ceremony inside the Central Fire Station. We ask those who wish to attend to be in place at approximately 10:50 for an 11 a.m. start. The ceremony generally takes about 30 minutes. You'll hear from speakers including our Veteran Services Director, Colonel Philip McGovern. Oftentimes we're joined by our local legislators. I would expect Senator Friedman and Representative Rogers to join. So it's really a nice way to honor our veterans. Following the formal ceremony indoors, we do invite attendees to join us out in the Memorial Park area adjacent to the fire station for the formal wreath laying, so they can observe that. And then for those folks who still have time and are interested, we will have coffee and donuts back in the Central Fire Station to sort of wrap up the event.
Well, we are speaking, as I said, on October 31st, where we are anticipating temperatures of 80 degrees. Maybe not on Veterans Day, though.
Yeah.
So, right, we're used to bundling up for that one.
Agreed.
We will see if we get more seasonable weather by then. Lastly, at least as far as the official agenda goes, the town has a new chief engineer. So please tell us.
Agreed, and a little late in reporting this via town hall update, but I am very excited, and it's my honor to congratulate Bill Copithorne, who was appointed as Arlington's new town engineer. So the engineering division lives within the Public Works Department. Bill has been serving as the interim town engineer since Wayne Chenard's departure in July, and prior to that, he was the assistant town engineer since 2016. So, I've personally had the opportunity to work with Bill for many years and have seen firsthand his many valuable contributions to improving the town's infrastructure. He's worked on water main projects, roadway rehabilitation projects, sidewalk projects, curb ramp accessibility projects. So he's got a ton of experience, and he is just a wealth of knowledge. He also co-wrote the most recent update to the town's stormwater management bylaw. He's just done so many different and valuable things for the town. So he's got a lot of institutional knowledge. He is a lifelong resident. He's well respected and well known in the community, and I'm just very excited because he is already excelling in this new role, and that will mean great things for the town in the years to come.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing. We often hear about this when we're talking about new positions in town, or positions in town being filled. There's that continuity that you're talking about here, where very often it's somebody who's already performing those functions or has performed many of them or has experience in town over years. It's very comforting to know that important positions in town are being, passed from one to the next in such a seamless way.
Thank you for acknowledging that. Succession planning is critical to continuity of our operations, so glad to see it taking place in this instance.
Absolutely. Anything that we have missed? We've talked about a lot of stuff, so maybe not, huh?
That's plenty.
Okay. Jim Feeney is our town manager, and he has joined us here in studio for this town hall update. We do appreciate Jim's time. He will be busy later, I imagine, since he has a child. That's what Halloween is all about, right? So glad we caught him in the morning, and glad we have caught you as well. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm James Milan. We'll see you next time.